Why is it that every profound truth, upon being uttered, sounds like a paradox to the ears of those who hear it? My name is Oscar Wilde, and I'm here to introduce you to the mastery of paradoxical wisdom, to peel back the layers of this complex art form, which I have cultivated throughout my life and embedded in my works. You see, in the simplicity of paradox lies a complexity that holds the power to transform not only the way you think, but the way you engage with the world. Let us begin with the first lesson, the contradictory nature of truth. Consider this: I can resist anything except temptation. It is a statement that on the surface appears self-defeating, yet it encapsulates the human condition with elegance and a touch of humor. The lesson here is not to take words at face value, but to search for the deeper truth that they may be veiling. In your own life, you will encounter countless instances where what is presented to you is not aligned with the underlying reality. It is here, in these moments, that you must look beyond the apparent contradiction to find the true essence of what is before you. I lived in an age where the facade was often considered the reality, where what one said and what one did were rarely in harmony. Through my writing, whether it was The Picture of Dorian Gray or The Importance of Being Earnest, I sought to unravel this facade, to show that the truth is often hidden behind a mask of contradictions. As you navigate your way through the complexities of life, remember that the truth is rarely pure and never simple. It is, as I have said, rarely pure and never simple. The world will present to you a series of paradoxes, and it is within these that the essence of life's truths can often be found. When you encounter a contradiction, do not dismiss it outright. Instead, ask yourself, what deeper understanding is this paradox guiding me towards? Now, consider the peculiar case of humility. I have the simplest tastes. I am always satisfied with the best. Here, I play with the notion of modesty, twisting it to suggest that true sophistication lies in recognizing and demanding the finest life has to offer. In your quest for knowledge and self-improvement, do not mistake false modesty for humility. True humility is recognizing your potential and striving for excellence, not settling for mediocrity under the guise of simplicity. Let us turn our attention to the role of sincerity. The secret of life is to appreciate the pleasure of being terribly, terribly deceived. This speaks to the heart of human interactions. You must understand that sincerity is not about brutal honesty or unfiltered truth, but about the appreciation of the intricate dance between deception and revelation that characterizes our relationships. To truly master the art of living, one must be able to see through deception, not with cynicism, but with a heart that appreciates the complexities of human nature. And with that, we conclude the first part of our exploration into paradoxical wisdom. Remember, the truth is often hidden in plain sight, cloaked in contradiction. It is your task to unravel it and to relish in the beauty of its complexity. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. Now let us proceed to the second lesson, the subversion of expectations. In every aspect of life, we come with a set of expectations. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. When I uttered these words, I intended to subvert the notion that experience is a mere accumulation of successes. It is, in fact, our willingness to make mistakes and learn from them that enriches our existence. You will find that in your personal and professional life, the greatest lessons will come not from your triumphs, but from the moments where things did not go as planned. Each mistake is a narrative in itself, a story from which you can extract wisdom and insight. Embrace your errors, for they are your most honest teachers. Consider the idea of individuality. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Here is the ultimate subversion of societal expectations. The pressure to conform is immense, but true mastery of life lies in recognizing that your individuality is your greatest asset. It is a simple statement, yet it holds a depth of meaning. In a world where you are constantly bombarded with messages of who you should be, dare to be yourself. That is where your true power lies. Now, let us delve into the realm of desire. There are only two tragedies in life. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. This statement challenges the expectation that fulfillment comes from the attainment of our desires. Instead, it points to the complexity of human longing and the often bittersweet nature of its fulfillment. In your pursuit of your goals, be mindful of what you wish for. The journey towards a desire can be just as fulfilling as its attainment, if not more so. We will now take a brief pause before we continue with the third lesson. During this intermission, I encourage you to consider the paradoxes I have presented thus far. How have they shifted your perspective on truth, humility, sincerity, mistakes, individuality, and desire? How can you apply the subversion of expectations to see beyond the surface of societal norms and personal aspirations? As we reconvene, we shall embark upon our third lesson, the aestheticism of morality. In my life, I was an ardent proponent of the philosophy that art exists for its own sake, and this belief permeated my views on morality as well. There is no moral or immoral book. Books are well written or badly written. That is all. This statement defies the conventional expectation that art and literature should serve moral purposes. Instead, I argue that the aesthetic quality of a work is its most essential attribute. As you create, whether in writing, art, or any other form of expression, free yourself from the burden of moralizing your work. Let the beauty and truth of your creation stand on its own. The moral value of a piece is not dictated by its content, but by the response it elicits from its audience. It is in this response that the true moral power of art lies. Reflect now on the role of criticism. Criticism is the only reliable form of autobiography. It's a declaration that turns the concept of criticism on its head, suggesting that it tells us more about the critic than the work in question. As you encounter criticism in your life, remember that it often reveals the biases, preferences, and values of the critic. Use criticism not as a deterrent, but as a tool for self-discovery and growth. And what of our pursuit of happiness? Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. A playful observation, yet it underscores the reality that our presence has an impact on those around us. Strive to be someone who brings joy into the lives of others, not only through your actions, but through your very being. Lastly, let us address the subject of love. When one is in love, one always begins by deceiving oneself, and one always ends by deceiving others. That is what the world calls a romance. Love, in its essence, is riddled with paradox. It is both self-deception and a universal truth, a personal journey and a shared experience. In love, allow yourself to embrace its paradoxes, for they are what make it the most exhilarating and transformative of human emotions. Now, we must pause once again, for we have reached the end of our third lesson. Reflect on the aestheticism of morality, the nature of criticism, the pursuit of happiness, and the paradoxes of love. How can the appreciation of beauty guide your moral compass? How can understanding the nature of criticism help you know yourself better? How can your presence cause happiness? And how can you navigate the complexities of love? When we return, we will explore our final lesson, the duality of freedom and society. In my life, I was a staunch advocate for individualism, yet I was acutely aware of the constraints society placed upon the individual. The only way to deal with a world that is out of date is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. In this, I challenge you to live freely within a society that may not always embrace the values you hold dear. Freedom is not the absence of restrictions, but the courage to be yourself in spite of them. Consider the duality of man's nature. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. This observation highlights the paradox that anonymity can sometimes be a path to authenticity. In your interactions, be aware of the masks you wear and those worn by others. Seek to understand the truths that lie behind these facades. And what of the constraints of society? Society exists only as a mental concept. In the real world, there are only individuals. Here, I urge you to recognize that society is a collective of individual thoughts and actions. Your contribution to this collective can either perpetuate the status quo or help to shape a new reality. Be the architect of your society, one action, one thought, one word at a time. Finally, let us contemplate the freedom of thought. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. Embrace ideas that challenge the norm, for it is through these that progress is made. Do not fear the dangerous idea, but rather the complacency of unquestioned acceptance. We have now reached the end of our discourse on paradoxical wisdom. Remember, the mastery of this wisdom is not in the resolution of paradoxes, but in the exploration of their depths. Through the contradictory nature of truth, the subversion of expectations, the aestheticism of morality, and the duality of freedom and society, you will find the richest veins of understanding. Embracing the liberated self. Dare to live freely. In the intricate dance between individualism and societal norms, I implore you to embrace a life of personal freedom. The world may indeed seem out of date, its rules and expectations a heavy chain around the neck of creativity and self-expression. Yet, in this very act of daring to live freely, you assert your existence as an act of rebellion against the mundane and the archaic. Unveil hidden truths. When man dons a mask, an interesting paradox emerges. He reveals more than he conceals. As you navigate the social masquerade, challenge yourself to understand and appreciate the complexities of human identity. Remember, it is often under the guise of anonymity that the most profound truths are spoken. Construct your society. Society, that grand tapestry, is woven together by the threads of individual thoughts and deeds. I charge you with the task of recognizing your role as both a participant and a creator within this construct. Your every action, every thought, every word contributes to the fabric of our collective existence. Cherish dangerous ideas. The pursuit of knowledge and innovation is fueled by ideas that challenge, that disrupt the status quo. Embrace these dangerous ideas, for they are the catalysts for change and progress. Let your mind be a crucible for thought that is bold and unyielding, and let the spark of your ideas ignite the flames of transformation. The Odyssey of Becoming. Forge your unique path. The journey to self-discovery is uncharted and wild. It demands courage to step away from the well-trodden paths and venture into the wilderness of your own soul. Make no mistake, this is no mere whimsical detour, but a necessary pilgrimage to the very core of who you are. Embrace growth's fiery trials. Growth is an alchemist's fire. It is in the crucible of experience that personal transformation is catalyzed, where the raw ore of potential is refined into something purer, stronger. Each challenge faced is an opportunity to emerge more resilient and more enlightened than before. Nurture passion's endless flame. Passion is the heart's true compass. In the pursuit of what sets your soul ablaze, you will find the lines between work and play, duty and joy, blur into irrelevance. To nurture passion is to feed the endless flame that will light your way through the darkest of times. Unite in collective harmony. Unity is humanity's undying chorus. In the grand symphony of life, every individual is an instrument contributing to the collective harmony. Recognize that your melody, when joined with others, has the power to transcend the limits of individual achievement and resonate with the chords of universal truth. In the culmination of these ideals lies the essence of a life filled with purpose and meaning. As you progress on your Odyssey, remember that it is not just about the destination, but also the transformation that occurs along the way. Keep these principles as beacons on your horizon and let them guide you to your destiny. The Voyage of Self-Mastery. Chart your inner landscape. Navigating the depths of consciousness, each individual embarks on a personal voyage to discover their quintessential essence. Your internal world is as vast and complex as the universe itself, and mastering it requires the same dedication as any mariner devoted to the sea's capricious whims. Kindle the spirit's fire. Igniting the soul's potential, one realizes that within the human spirit burns a fire that not even the darkest shadows of doubt can extinguish. It is this inner flame that propels you forward, urging you to overcome obstacles and to rise above the ephemeral and the transient. Weave wisdom into action, integrating insight with behavior. The tapestry of life becomes richer and more intricate. Every lesson learned and every insight gained should be woven into the very fabric of your actions, creating a living tapestry that vividly represents your journey and growth. Harmonize with life's symphony. Syncing with the universe's rhythm, acknowledge that you are an integral part of a greater whole. Like an individual note in an elaborate musical composition, your life has its own tempo, its own resonance, but it is in harmony with the surrounding melodies that its beauty is truly realized. In the grand narrative that unfolds with each new dawn, it is these principles that can guide you to a place of self-mastery and fulfillment. As you continue to write the chapters of your life, may these guiding lights illuminate your path toward becoming the architect of your destiny, the master of your journey, and the composer of your own epic symphony. Echoes of inner triumph. Summon unyielding personal resolve. Within the crucible of will, every individual forges their destiny. Your inner strength is the anvil upon which life shapes you, but your will is the hammer that controls the outcome. Command it with purpose and precision to mold your future as you desire. Cultivate your mind's garden. In the fertile soil of thought, ideas blossom like wildflowers. Tend to this garden with care, for it is from these blooms that the fruits of innovation and wisdom are harvested. Nurture your intellect with a diverse array of seeds and watch as your mind's garden flourishes. Transcend through resilient spirit. Above the tumult of chaos, the resilient spirit soars. Life's tempest will test your wings, but it is in the heart of the storm that you will find your true strength. With each beat, rise higher until you are not merely enduring but transcending. Unite dreams with reality. Where aspirations meet action, reality is reshaped. Dreams are not just ethereal wisps of imagination, they are blueprints for your future. Align your actions with your aspirations and watch as the intangible is woven into the fabric of the real. As your saga unfolds, let these principles be your guideposts. They are the whispering winds that steer you, the stars by which you navigate. Carry them close to your heart and step boldly into the narrative that awaits. Your story is not yet written, and the pen is in your hand.